We live in a time where the flow of information is constant, with competing voices in crowded spaces, where old school thoughts meet new school ideas.
We are constantly having to recreate ourselves. To understand these identities, we need to decipher the culture. This is unconventional. This is Lounge Academics.
Hey T, how you doing?
Hello, hello, hello.
I'm gonna have to bring this up, you know. Look at that, man.
I
You live in
know,
here.
I know. Lord, I'm nervous,
Why are you
KJ.
nervous?
I don't know. I'm never
Why?
nervous. I'm never nervous to do shows. I have no
Yeah.
idea why. I think it's because it's been a long time coming for us. So it feels good to finally like both of us be doing this together at the same time. So
Yeah.
hello, everybody. I'm Tiana Davis, aka T with T. And I am the creator of a app called Pollwork. I'm actually building the app from scratch myself, and it is an app for pole dancers that are interested in a safe entry point into the world of pole. I myself, just from being in the pole community, have seen that there's not really a one-stop shop for those of us that are looking for like pole trick tutorials. You're looking for choreography, you're looking for conditioning classes. I am creating that for us. It is a place for Black women, Black pole dancers in general, because I also feel like we don't have that space, especially given the climate of the world right now. Okay. But more so than that, why I created it is my purpose is to create safe spaces for Black and Brown people to be open, honest, transparent, and vulnerable. So the ways that I do that in a multitude of ways. One of them is creating this pole work app. And then the other one is my podcast, Tea with Tea, where we talk about a multitude of different subjects. KJ tuned in last week. Last week we were talking about healing. This weekend, we're going to be talking about Black love and the Black relationship. So that's going to be really exciting. I hope to see some of you over there. And how do I do what I do? Why do I do what I do? Essentially, the root part of it is I seek to create the spaces that I never had when I was growing up. I never felt heard, seen, understood, valued, appreciated as a child. And so I seek to create those spaces for people that have maybe been like me. And I think that that is, it's just been a lot of fun, and it has allowed me to really grow and evolve as a person. And I love doing it, honestly. I'm very passionate about it, and I can't wait to continue to share all of these gifts and teams with the world, really. And hopefully y'all like my hair because I did it just for you.
It looks beautiful. I
Thank
saw it, girl. Look at my Instagram story. It's littered with T's hair. Do you get me, girl? I could just about see your face under all that. I'm
I
jealous, man, because I'm
know,
into
I
doing
know.
hair on my head.
KJ, let
So
me give you some of my hair because
I need
you
that.
are
I can grow
lacking a
it here,
little bit.
but here I'm
Hmm.
struggling, you know. No, but this sounds excellent, and I can see already people are properly connecting with what you're saying, you know.
Thank you
Whether
guys.
it's your look, whether it's what you're about. I mean, already I can see some of our UK fan base talking about, you know, spaces for Black and Brown people. We need that. We need that. It's
Yeah.
so important.
Oh, thank you, Yaz. And for those, honestly, that was one thing that I want to say that when I was in the UK and I was visiting, Black women, I'm sorry, literally wanted to snatch all of the wigs that I saw off of every Black woman in the UK. I was literally like, y'all, there are YouTube videos, there are tutorials. Why are your edges looking like this? Why can I tell that that's a wig? I was ready to snatch people's lives. Okay.
Wow.
So not just that, it just made me sad to see that like no Black women in the UK wanted to or were rocking their real hair, their natural hair. So I am so grateful that now we're starting this natural movement and
Yeah.
we can wear our hair like this and it's seen as like beautiful, and it's not like, oh my God, like you need a straightener, girl, let me get you a wig, like X, Y, and Z. Like, no, boo, I don't need no wig, okay? This gonna be
But
out all day. I'll be here all
but
day.
But you say that, yeah, you say that. But I wondered what, I mean, I know Yaz is on here because we got like our resident hairstylist here as part of the lounge, yeah. Yaz, that's what she does. And protecting natural hair and all of that and maintaining it is her thing, right? So
Yeah.
I ain't gonna steal her thunder. But what I will say though is what I'm struck by. I know you talk about snatching wigs, but I do think there is somewhat a lack of education for women
Yeah.
and their hair in how to
Yeah.
protect their hair, how to
Yeah.
maintain their hair. Not that I'm a specialist, I don't know about it. This ain't my area, but still, you know, I just thought I put that in there. But I think there is something around not necessarily knowing how to maintain or look after your hair. And that's usually some past poor education, maybe from your mother, your mother's
Yeah.
mother, or whatever, you know?
Yeah, it has a
Yeah,
lot to do with our, honestly, like my mom and my grandma just didn't know. Like they weren't taught, you know? And especially in America, we as Black people and Black women in particular are socially conditioned to believe that white European hair is superior. So
yeah.
I had a relaxer. My mom, or like my aunt, put a relaxer on my hair when I was maybe 6, I think.
Okay, that creamy
So
cut.
they
Yeah,
started very, 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 very young with the hot combs, with the perms and relaxers, with basically teaching us to hate ourselves and our hair. Essentially, that's what
yeah.
is being taught is self-hate. And so it took me until I got into college to, which I went natural back in 2011. And it's hilarious because I think about like my teammates, because I ran track like a long time ago. And I went natural, and my teammates made fun of me for it. And then literally like a month later, maybe a few weeks later, they were rocking their natural afros. So, you know, it just takes that one person, that first person, to show
Yeah.
that they're comfortable in their skin, and that allows people, gives people that vulnerability to be able to do it themselves. And so I love it. I'm a part of a few different like hair care curly girl groups on like Facebook and stuff, and I am constantly, honey, YouTube is my best friend. If I don't
Yeah,
know how
yeah,
to
yeah.
do something, any Black
YouTube.
women on YouTube will get you all the way together. Okay, so
But I mean, I get the whole focus on you know, self-education and that whole notion that Black is inferior, right? And the kinks in your hair, you're not to embrace that. You're not, you know, it's something, girl, your
wow.
hair looks mad. I need you to kind of sort that out or whatever.
Right, yeah,
And that's a
yeah.
constant message that women get and receive on a constant level. I take it I guess we're talking about hair now. Is this your topic? Is this what we 'cause
No,
we
I
got
mean, we,
that.
honey, listen, on Tea with Tea, we bounce off on so many tangents, but we always get back
Okay.
on track, okay? We
Of
get
course
back
we
on
do.
subject.
Of
So
course
I
we
don't
do.
mind a hair detour, but it's so interesting to see all the
Yeah.
comments and
Yeah, yeah,
all of
yeah,
the
yeah,
women that had their hair relaxed 10 and below. Like
yeah,
literally just seeing all of these women say, yeah, like my mom, my grandma, my auntie, whoever put a relaxer in my hair before I could even like figure out what my identity is and what I wanted it to be and who I wanted to be. That says a lot about the like mind psychosis that has been done to us as a people. So I am like, yeah, you're a hairstylist. So girl, when I come to the UK, you gonna get me
yeah.
all the way together. Okay. I have all faith that you will keep me together and looking good. My daughter
So
Nessa's now busting it with natural hair. Yes,
yeah, yeah, that's
yes,
Z.
teach all of your babies about natural hair, please.
It's important. And I feel, and this
Take
is
care
why
of
I
themselves.
say, you know, we want to provide teachable moments, right? Because
Right.
already I can see you've come on, and this is why it's been a long time coming. But sometimes you got to take time to cook that food and prepare it. You got to marinate the meat. You got to get that ready, season that up, cook that up, girl, get that ready. Do you understand? And that's why I love your energy. And that's why it's been a long time coming. But this is the
Yeah,
right time for us to be having this conversation. And I'm
I
glad that you're
agree.
here having it with us right now, you know? So
Yes.
kind of moving it on a little from the here.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure, right? Because there's a number, I just want to say to those that are tuning in, I know you ladies are proper enthralled by this. You're like, yes, I can see all the hearts and emojis going up on the screen, yeah?
We could
Let me just say something to you. if there's any questions that you've got, yeah, for T, and I think T's frozen. Okay,
Sorry,
you're back.
got a call. Sorry.
Got a call. Tell them to wait. You're live on Lounge
I
Academics,
know.
girl.
I didn't think anybody was gonna call
So
me. My bad.
terrible, terrible. So what I'll say is, anyone that has any questions, right? Please do. We will come back to them regarding the hair stuff. There will be an opportunity to jump on if you've got a direct question or something that you want to pose, or type your question in the comments, pose it, and we can get into that. And obviously, hopefully,
Yes.
between myself and T, we can speak to that. Although I'm not a hair specialist, but I'm sure T can just hog the floor. That's what you do, yeah.
It is
So,
what I
girl,
do.
this is what you do. So, in terms of pole work, yeah,
Yes.
tell us a little bit more about pole work. So,
Sure.
yeah. Tell us a bit more about that.
So I have been interested in building an app for a while now, but
Yeah,
I wasn't interested in learning how to code. So I ended up running across and like participating in a webinar from a woman named Tara Reed, a brilliant woman that said that you can basically do apps without code. So
yeah,
of course my ears perked up because I was like, wait,
yeah,
what? Like you can do
yeah,
that?
yeah,
So I joined her program, and yeah, ever since then, the first week of May, and I am already about to be at having like a physical viable product. Honestly, at the end of this month, I have started interviewing instructors who are going to create content for the app. And what I love about it is I will have instructors of all shapes and sizes. So if you're a thick girl, you learn pole differently because you have to learn how to maneuver your weight differently around the pole. So there will
okay.
be curvy instructors as well as, skinnier
Like that.
instructors, athletic instructors. And for me, it's important to have black and brown instructors because I don't feel like there is a platform where our acumen and technicality is showcased and we're able to
Yeah.
show like, hey, we know how to, teach people too. So I want to provide that platform for us as well.
So
And
in the States, sorry, T, in the
yeah, no,
States,
go ahead.
how, as a community, how big is this community, the polling community?
Oh,
What?
it's
Yeah, yeah.
hundreds. So there's hundreds of thousands of members within the pole community.
Right.
We were actually I was supposed to go to my first pole con this year. It was supposed to be this month, maybe like, actually it's supposed to be going on literally right now. But because of COVID and everything,
Yeah.
that it got pushed back to August. But I personally won't be able to go because I'm getting knee surgery at the end of this month so
Okay.
that I can pole and be physical and exercise and be athletic the way that I'm used to. Like I said, I was a former athlete, professional
Yeah.
track and field athlete for a decade. So it's one of those things of like, I can't perform and be what I was and what I wanted to be. So I have to get this taken care of in order to do that. But in the meantime, I can still create something for other women and that I'll also be using myself. So it's not like I'm creating something that
Yeah.
isn't going to be used by me as well. I also need this app. So that was one of the reasons that I created
Yeah.
it too, was because I'm like, well, who knows the next time that dance studios are going to open up and all of these different instructors are teaching virtual classes anyway. So I might as well create an app that if you, whatever you need, you can find it. And so I did
Yeah.
like take a survey and reach out to some different poll groups. And I think within the first like week, I had gotten over 150 responses on the survey. So
Okay.
people want the app. Like people ask me all the time, like, sis, when is the app going to be done? I'm ready to give you my money
Yeah.
yesterday. So
Yeah.
really,
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
yeah.
So
How
it's really,
long
yeah.
how
Yeah.
long
You
will my
got the
healing
question.
process
Yeah.
be? So my doctor said that it will be a roughly 4 to 6 month recovery period, which isn't that bad. I really feel like that's a higher, like a long projection for like somebody that's sedentary, somebody that isn't really young, isn't really fit. I honestly feel like I can bounce back in maybe 3, but
Mm.
I'm not gonna rush
Take
it.
it easy, girl.
I'm gonna take
Yeah.
it easy. I'm just ready to
Mhm.
bust it open and bust it down on the pole, KJ. Like I'm ready to get back to it. I want my pole in the home. Oh, and And that's another thing. And so there will be things on the app for women, and I don't want to say women because we do have male pole dancers as well. So I'll just say pole dancers in
Okay.
general and wannabe polers. There will be content for people that have a pole and people that do not have a pole. So
Yeah.
some people don't think that there's anything that you can do in the world of pole without a pole. But honey, floor work, okay, conditioning programs and exercises to
Yeah.
get
Yeah.
you stronger so that whenever you do get on the pole, you'll be able to like do some real stuff. All of those things are things that you can actively be working on now. That way you'll be prepared whenever you do get your pole or you
Sure.
do get to a dance studio, like a pole dance studio. So
So it's all about this. It's also about the body and discipline. And there's other way. It's not just the pole. There's also the emphasis in preparation for going up on the pole
right.
and being ready and all that groundwork. That I'm speaking like I know, you get me. But you know, I'd imagine from what you're saying, you know, there isn't. It's not just the pole. There is a whole discipline, a whole routine.
Yeah.
There's a whole culture and a whole routine and a way of being.
Yeah, it's a whole
Yeah,
culture.
yeah.
Exactly. It's a vibe. But the thing is, one of the reasons that I am seeking to create this app and to introduce the world to the world of pole is because of that negative connotation and stigma that's also associated with our world. People
Yeah,
always assume that when I say pole dancing, that I'm automatically talking about a stripper or
yeah.
dancing in a club or something of that nature, when I have never stripped a day in my life, honey. But
Yeah,
I've busted it open on a pole plenty of times.
yeah.
Okay. I have gotten
I,
the experience of
I
getting
was
dollars.
gonna ask you about that, you know. I was gonna ask about those connotations and how, you know, when people are talking about pole, like you said, certain images or certain ideas come to mind, you know, whether it's like you said, like a stripper, that's immediately, I know as a man, when you hear pole and pole work or dancing, that's what comes to mind. So
Yeah.
are you having to try and navigate that yourself, or are you often having to tell people, look, no, honey, that's not what it
To get
is?
them all the way together.
Yeah.
I think people are a lot more open-minded about it because like celebrities have started to kind of incorporate poles and stuff. Like Snoop Dogg has had pole dancers like performing with him on stage. FK
Yeah.
Twigs has done pole work in her videos and on stage. I think at the Grammys she did a pole routine. Solange has had pole dancers and stuff. So there's a lot less of a stigma being associated with it, but there's still just, people have been so socially conditioned to believe that, you know, associating a pole is somebody taking off their clothes or somebody stripping or whatever the case is. Hello, everybody popping in. So I feel like this is the best time for me to be creating something like this. And Lewis, I do see your question. I know so many people with app ideas, but they don't execute them because they think the whole process is expensive. It is expensive. What steps would you advise they take? So the reason that a lot of people feel like they can't get into creating and building apps is because if you go the route of hiring a developer, it is very, very expensive. It's tens of thousands of dollars. I mean, it's anywhere from usually 20 or 30,000 is the lower range, upwards of like 100 grand. So that was something that I wasn't willing to do. And I like to create things from for myself. And I like to have control over like what it is that I'm doing. So that was why I sought out a program that would teach me how to build an app without having to know how to code. And so when I'm one of those people, I'm a firm believer in the universe. Like whatever it is that you ask for, is if you believe that you deserve it, you will get it. So and I manifest things really, really quickly. So like I was just like, because I had been looking at programs on like the Harvard website, because you know they're offering free programs and stuff like that on learning how to code. And I was looking at the curriculum, and excuse my French, but I was like, I don't want to learn this shit. Like I don't. This doesn't interest me. I don't have like the brain capacity to sit somewhere for 10 hours and learn how to type in a program and learn what Python is. And like, I don't care. I honestly just genuinely don't care. I'm a creator. I'm a visionary. So I don't have time to do like somebody handle my lightweight. Okay.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about it. So the steps that you need to take is you need to firstly understand that there are app building software platforms. So depending on what kind of app it is that you're looking to build or create will depend on the specific kind of platform that you use. For instance, for me, I'm using the app called Glide because it has a little bit more customizational skills that I can do because I need specific things in my app. And so it will allow me to toggle around and play around with it and get the specifications to what I want and what I see in my mind.
Mhm.
But you can also use other apps that are specific for different types of platforms. Say, for instance, you're
Yeah.
building a Tinder-like platform, they have an app building software for that. If you're building a directory, they have an app software for that. You're building a community, they have an app software for that.
Mhm.
So it's
Yeah.
really just about figuring out which platform will work best for your idea. And it really works just like a drag and drop, most of them. You do
Yeah.
have
Yeah. Yeah.
the technical aspects where you have to do some things that will tell the software to like talk to one another
Yeah.
within the program. But for the most part, it's very easy to get started. I literally, like I said, didn't know how to build an app a month and a half ago, and now I'm almost done and have a
Yeah.
viable product. So it's possible.
Yeah, definitely. And I think, and to add to that as well, actually, because although it's very expensive, yeah, we talk about the amount of money that it costs to actually do it. It's very time consuming, it's very
Yeah.
expensive. Do you actually have ownership of the process? But I don't know how it is in the US, but I know in the UK, not many people know this, but there's actually relief funds available. And what I mean by that is there's
Ooh.
actually grants and funds available to develop tech apps of innovation, right? So
Yeah.
where there are ideas and there's projects to develop apps, there are teams that you can work with. And in working
Mm-hmm.
with those teams, right, they can kind of do it on a IOU basis, meaning that you can pay us later through this relief
Oh.
fund. Yeah. So you can build with
I don't
them
know
and
about
then
that
they
in
get these leads.
America. Mm-mm.
Yeah, yeah,
America,
yeah.
we want our coin up front, honey. We ain't finna
Yeah.
do, we don't collaborate, cooperate. We don't know
Yeah.
about that.
But But just in response to Lou's question, there are other avenues. I get there's these apps and stuff, but there's also other avenues where you can work with people, and there are funds available, grants that you can
Yeah.
get access to. Definitely
Yes,
on that basis.
there
Go ahead,
definitely
honey. You can
are.
say something. Go on.
No, I was just going to get into, so I know that one of the questions for me is like, what is my dream cream and bread and butter like client base, or like, what kind of like referrals am I looking for? Like, who is the app for? So my app
Yeah.
in particular is geared towards beginners and intermediates and those that are interested in pole but don't feel like they have a friendly entry point. I will have some advanced, content on the platform, but it's not specifically geared towards those that have been in the pole world for a while. I really want this to be, like I said, a
Startups.
friendly entry point. Yeah, it's definitely a
Yeah.
starter.
Like
Like
a
if you're
beginners.
looking to
Yeah.
get the basic foundation of pole, then my app is where you want to start. And you can
Okay.
follow the Instagram right now. It's called Pole
Yeah.
Work Co. And it's in my, if you go to my profile, it's in my bio, so you'll be able to follow it there as well.
Cool.
As far as the like type of clients I would like to have on the platform, I mean, obviously, like a dream person would be somebody like FKA Twig and Solange, like
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
partnering with the app and, perhaps doing a series or coming on the Instagram and talking with you all about like what
Yeah.
they've learned once they started diving into the world of pole. So that would definitely be like a year maker for me would be one of them, kind of reaching out and wanting to be involved, especially after we start getting traction and the app actually comes out and all of that good stuff.
Okay.
A cream type of client or referral that's a really weird, like, just,
Well,
I
these
don't know
metaphors, yeah, cream. We like cream. Yeah.
Oh, yes, we do. Yes, we do around here. So somebody like that, like for instance, some people that are well known in the industry would
Yeah.
be somebody like Nicole the Pole or
Yeah.
Dalia Franklin, who is the founder of Black Girls Pole, which
Okay.
now has over 70,000 members. So you could go check out her Instagram as well. A great resource and spotlight for Black pole women or Black pole dancers in general. Or also somebody like Sammy Picone is great too. So people like that, if they were to get involved, that would also be super awesome. And I'm speaking these things right now, so the universe
Yeah.
hears me. So
That's
don't be
right.
surprised if some of this stuff happens
That's
before
right,
the
girl.
year is
You
over.
you got to
Okay,
speak that into existence,
I
man.
speak the things into
You
existence.
don't ask, you don't get, you know. But that's cool. So definitely, and if there's anyone that's interested, you know, follow T as well. You know,
Yeah, reach
connect
out to
because you
me.
do T. You do so much, man. You do so much, and I know, to be honest with you, and the little time that we have will not give all the justice in the world to kind of serve. Do you know what I mean? Your abilities, your giftings, you're just so cool. That's all I'm gonna say, really. You're just so cool because you
Well,
always
thank
have
you.
a can-do attitude, and you'd never have thought that you're gonna go and have an operation soon. You know, a big operation at
I
that.
know,
So
right?
on behalf of the Lounge Academics community, we want to give you that virtual hug and that love. I'll be checking on you
I
anyway.
accept it.
You
Thank
know,
you. No,
you know.
I think it's because it's been a long time coming for me. I mean, this is surgery that I should have had, I mean, probably 10 years. Um, but that also speaks to the fact of what happens when you grow up in a single parent household.
Yeah,
And there's only so many financial funds to be distributed amongst, the children, the siblings.
yeah, yeah.
So I think that taught me from a young age to be very driven, to be very resourceful, to be
Yeah,
very persistent, to be very dedicated, to be very ambitious. And I've kind of just
definitely.
always been that way. And so people do like what you just said. Like people always tell me those like tell me about myself, and I'm just like, oh yeah, that's cool, I did do all that stuff, you're right. But I don't ever internalize it. I think like
Yeah,
I would never be, I'm just not the person that's gonna be like, yeah, you're right, I did do a national commercial that aired on the Super Bowl, and
keep it
yeah, I
moving.
have,
Yeah,
I have gone to the Olympic trials, and I still have my, my jersey and my bib number and all that. Like, yeah, I have
yeah,
gone to, I'm just not that person that like is it humble bragger even? Like I'm just
yeah.
like, I literally am the person
Just
that like I did those things and that's great, but I still have so much more to do that I'm so focused on that stuff.
see, just remember me when that UK
You
US football,
only
and you want that host. Yeah, you.
Yeah,
I'm just
I
letting you
got
know.
you. Yeah, for
You got me.
sure.
Good, good. I need that presenting gig, girl. I need that in the States, man. So anyway, what we're gonna do, right?
Yeah.
We're gonna switch it up a bit. So we're gonna go
Okay.
into our quick fire round here. We're gonna switch it up because everyone's been feeling this. But as
Okay.
we talk about things being teachable moments, right? And we like to
Hmm.
provide that moment so that our viewers and our listeners can feel like they're learning something, right? We
Yeah.
want you to kind of give us 3 YouTube channels that you'd recommend for
Ooh.
inspiring that you're tuned into.
Oh God, I'm not a YouTube person, so YouTube probably wouldn't be the best platform for me. It would probably be more like Instagram. I can give you three
Okay, cool.
Instagram
Go for
handles.
it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Go for it. Yeah.
So so this is a couple,
Hmm.
and they are amazing, as far as like motivation and like business acumen is concerned. So one of their names is Dana Chanel, and the
Okay.
other one is Prince Donnell. And they
Hmm.
are a couple, and they have started a tax business that helps
Okay.
individuals with learning to set up their own tax firm, essentially. And then they have started a perfume line together. I mean, they have a like boot camp also kind of deal where they mold and shape entrepreneurs. So they're a really great resource to
Hmm.
have and to look into. Hey
Cool.
D, welcome,
Hey,
welcome. I love how all my people are in the building.
US connections,
I
boy.
know
Yeah,
all my homies are in the building. So
that's
there's
right.
a great couple to follow. I
Yeah.
also really like a chick. Her name is Kezia is her name. I'll have to double check and look, and I can get
Okay.
you the actual name. She gives a lot of great advice for Black men and women in their finances. and helping you with getting
Okay.
financially literate, helping you if you're a small business owner or an entrepreneur. So she's good on that note. And then from an inspirational standpoint, there is a guy named, well, I also love comedian Godfrey is also
Yeah,
just
yeah,
if you're
okay,
looking
yeah,
for a
yeah, yeah,
fun,
yeah,
you know,
yeah,
like just a fun outlet. He
yeah,
is the
yeah, 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 yeah,
champion for like pro black love, pro black
yeah,
women. Like
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Godfrey will get you all the way together. Okay.
Cool.
So those would be some ones that I would say. As
Okay,
far as like political stuff, Tamika Mallory is a great one as well. But
okay,
I'll send these all to you in like a
definitely.
DM or something.
Yeah,
Share their profile.
cool. Okay. 3 books that saved your life, like 3 important books for your life that you'd
Oh,
recommend.
see, 3 books that saved my life. I don't know. I've always been a lover of life, so I can't. Maybe Harry Potter. I don't know. No, I'm kidding. And isn't she British? No, but I did know. So growing up, I loved the Harry Potter books.
Yeah,
Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, like really, like got my
yeah,
creative juices flowing because I was
cool.
naturally a lover of language, and I'm a
Yeah,
writer and a poet and all of that as well myself. So I really loved the Harry Potter series because it
mm,
allowed me to expand my mind as a creator, and it really helped me with learning how to visualize universes
yeah,
because
yeah.
it inspired me to create. Because I'm actually working on a fictional book. It's a lot like a
What aren't
DC.
you working on, girl? Damn.
I know. Oh my God, I should read it. I was gonna read a poem, but I could maybe give you the opening scene of it. It's called Queens of War.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And basically it's about the African warrior queens of history, but I'm making them into, I'm creating a universe for them because I
Okay.
feel like they don't get enough shine and that like, listen, African warrior queens were badasses. Okay. They was out there on the field.
Of course.
Women were some of the greatest warriors on the battlefield as well. So
So,
that
girl,
is why I would
where's this
love
poem
to.
then? I want to hear, where's the poem? You can
You
do
want
this?
you want to do you okay, so you have a choice. I can read the poem or I can read the opening scene of the
Yeah, Yaz is
movie.
saying the poem. I think we're all like, the poem, we want to hear the poem.
Yes, tell us
Not
the
that Yaz.
poem.
Yaz doesn't sound like that, by the way. She don't sound like that. I'm
She
going to
I
get
was about to say, I hope
the
she doesn't sound like that. So okay, guys, so I'm gonna give you a choice. You let me know either opening scene to the movie or poem. Whatever one gets the most votes wins, and I will do
You
that.
know, you know, our followers are just going to be all about the book open. Is exactly all our writers is going to be about the opening scenes, and then for the rest of us, it's all going to be about the poems. Do you know what I mean? You want to hear
Right.
me?
So
Here
I've
you
got
go,
2 votes for opening scene. I've got 1
yeah.
for poem.
No, no, you got 3, including myself. Do you get me?
Oh, so I've got 3 for the movie, for the opening scene.
Here, Louise, book, book, book.
I love this. I love this. I
Yeah,
love this.
it looks like it's the book, you know. You know what? Some people, you see what? Some of these people that's on here, yeah, like I'm looking at my JFD fitness freak. Yeah, we know who
Yeah.
you are. Some people are just awkward, man. They'll just go against the grain. They'll go against me. You see
Yeah.
this? I don't count. You see how this is? And this is my family base, you know? They're terrible. But you
Paper
know,
voted
here
twice.
we
It's
go.
Okay. Okay. So
It
it's
seems like
looking
the
like,
opening
seeing
scene.
as it's a tie, can't we have both? You can certainly have both. Really. I could do the poem first because it's easier because it's literally 1 page. It's a couple stanzas.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the opening scene is about like 5 pages. So
Okay. Right. Yeah, it's
I
still
will
the
do,
poem, and maybe you
okay.
can connect with T, yeah?
Uh,
For the opening
Maybe,
scene.
perhaps. I've never tried, but
She can do an audible. Do you know what I mean? Or something.
I can do it all. Okay. So the poem is called Ode or Reminder to the 21st Century Black Woman. It starts off very strong, y'all. So I just want you to be ready. Okay. Be clear.
Wakanda forever.
Wakanda forever. So, Black women, I hate you. You're good enough to fuck, but date you? Please. You're lucky if we rape you. You could have our bastard sons, but claim you? Hell would have to freeze over, and even then, I wouldn't save you. You're battered. You're bruised. You're tarnished. Used. Bitches and hoes are now the CEOs, not of businesses, but of poles, of taking off your clothes. In the business of sex, they say we are the pros. Could this be our legacy? Choosing a baller's wife over that college degree? Getting a slot on reality TV? Black women, please, tell me there is more to our destiny. Where are my entrepreneurs, my modern dancers, my molecular scientists, my girl, I can't go out, I'm curing cancers, my dreamers and doers, my shakers and movers, the women our ancestors look down upon and say, Lord, that one right there, use her. It's time for the world to be reminded why, no matter how many times you knock us down, still we rise. The unapologetic, forever poetic. The we don't need your awards or validation because, quite frankly, they're pathetic. The damned if you give it to me, I'm taking my credit. The this is my name and don't you ever forget it. The Nubian goddess, the Black queen, and everything else in between. Past, present, and unforeseen. Rise once again, Black woman, redeemed, and may we forever reign supreme. Because Black girl magic, that is the American dream.
Clicks, 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 girl. Listen. Look, man.
Period.
Listen, I need to hail you up because everyone's just like fists and just clapping and applauding, and I'm with them. Because let me tell you something, yeah. Because I had a conversation with it was Yaz I was talking to a bit earlier. That's right, mic drop, douche, right?
Oh.
At the end of the day, it's important that I feel that our young women get these messages, right, and they understand. And I'm because you ain't no old girl yourself. You a young girl, you know, and
Right.
you out here speaking positively. And I've often said, it has to be said, right? I'm slightly disappointed by some of the choices that some of our younger sisters. I'm taking this from a UK perspective. I'm looking at this from a UK lens, where the value. Right, the value in themselves, isn't really evident and it's not present. Do you understand? And I love the framing and the perspective that you brought on that. And it's a shame that sometimes, last week actually, we were talking. Our last guest that was on last week was talking about this whole validation thing.
Yeah.
And she's a coach, and she was talking about you know, the need to resist and fight that imposter syndrome, feeling that I'm not worthy.
Ooh,
low self-esteem and all of that. And I think it's a powerful piece. And I just want to say, yeah, girl, clicks. I'm all down for hearing that, because we need to continue to raise each other up. You know, our brothers need raising, but our sisters also need raising. We all need raising up right now. But I think in particular, and I know we can get into it because I know we've already talked about
this is my favorite subject.
Of course. So is mine. You know, it's mine too. So at the end of the day, I'm sure there's a lot that we can kind of talk about and explore and unpick around this whole theme, whether it's gender roles, whether it's relationships, intimacy, love of self, love of each other in relation to the other. Do you understand? There's so much that we can kind of unpack, but I think we're going to have to come back and revisit that.
I know. I definitely would love to.
You got to spill a little bit.
You're going to have to come on my podcast and we'll talk.
You can try and get me on your podcast. You can't get me on your
honey,
podcast.
I'm not going to try. We're going to set it up. That's what we're going to do.
You've been saying this for so long, do you know what I mean? But we're gonna do that, though. We're gonna do that. It's gonna happen.
You lucky I can't teleport over to the UK because I
I know you kick my ass, innit? Do you know what I mean? In it right now. Right. So we kind of start to wrap up, yeah, I want to just say thank you. You know, just I knew this would be all that I thought it would be. Do you know what I mean? Because
It was
I got so much.
amazing.
Tiana, I've got so much love for you, right? And we've never physically met. I know we do the video
No,
call things. I can't,
you're not good at it.
right? But there's always love. You know what I mean? You've always, whenever I speak to you, no matter what's happening, there's suddenly an uplifting. I suddenly feel lifted whenever I'm in contact with you. You always bring a smile to my face. Yaz is always saying to me, Tiana can never do no wrong in your eyes. Tiana. Because since the moment I met you, right, and we've been speaking, we like your enthusiasm, your progressiveness, your mindset is just second to none, girl. And I love you for that drive. I love you for your ambition. I want to acknowledge you as my sister, as my little sister, and just
Right?
show
Because
you,
I'm younger than you. It's
of
true.
course, man. And you know, I hope that, and I know you talk about speaking things into existence, and I know things will happen for you. I've always said to you, I'm waiting for that day. I'm just waiting for the call that you up on Hollywood, or you doing something, or you're presenting some show, or you up there with somebody. Do you know what I mean? Presenting and doing your thing, and I know it's gonna happen. And I love your go-getter attitude. So, you know, your head's most probably, well, your head isn't, but your hair might have swollen a piece
Ah,
as a result
perhaps,
of this, you
perhaps.
know? And I just wanted to find out how um how how many people would you recommend to come on here? What if there were 3 people that you was going to recommend to come onto the platform and have this conversation? Who would they be and why? Who would be your 3 people?
Well, off top, the first one would be my friend Callan, Bryant, who's actually going to be my roommate soon. Yay!
Hmm.
Love you, Callan. He's a dancer, and
Okay.
he has his own studio, and his own like dance company and academy. And he is doing some really big things in Atlanta. He actually has a casting out right now. So whenever we click off of here, I'll drop his handle below, as well as the other people that I mentioned, so you guys can go follow them if you like. But he is like, if you need somebody to get your child together dance wise, oh honey,
Okay.
up and down. He's that guy. So Callan Bryant. I would also recommend my friend Jordan Colby. He has a podcast as well called Voice Up.
Okay.
And he
Yeah.
also wrote a book. And it's about relationships like from the male perspective. So I really think that
Hmm.
you guys could have a really interesting conversation.
Hmm.
And I would also recommend who dang, I had them in my mind. Let me think about it because I have so many. It's hard to like pinpoint it down to just 3. But these are people that I interact with like on a regular basis, so that's why
Right.
it's easy for them to come to mind. If I haven't given you a female yet. Who? Oh,
Mhm.
my friend Sipping Pretty. She
Okay.
has her own business to where she has created tea infused facials and bee steams and things of that nature
Okay.
for women. So she, again, black owned business. I use her personally, as you can see, because my skin is immaculate.
Yes, I
Okay.
see that, girl.
It's
I can
immaculate,
see
honey.
my
This ain't no
reflection.
highlight, okay? This is melanin.
No filters, yeah? No
No
filters.
fillers. This is
Okay.
melanin. Okay. So she's great as far as getting my whole face and self-care routine together. I really think it's important that we
Cool.
start getting back to self-care, both men and
Yeah,
women.
yeah,
So
yeah.
she's a great person to talk to from that perspective.
Definitely. Cool. Thank you for that, for your recommendations.
You're
And I
welcome.
just wondered, now this is the moment where we hand it over, right, to you, to the people that are tuning in, that are with
Oh
us, that
yeah,
are
yeah,
staying with
yeah.
me. Yeah. Is there any question? Is there anybody that wants to jump on and voice anything? They want to say anything, jump on right now,
Yes,
and
please.
I'll
I
just have
love
Tim
when
just take a
people
back
share
seat
their
for a moment.
experience.
Is there
Hmm.
anyone that wants to jump in? What do you mean I'm cheeky? Yes, I ain't cheeky. But
Yes, he
anyone
is.
there?
Yes.
Let me see. You called me that earlier, actually. You was like,
I
hey, you
did.
cheeky.
I said you were cheeky.
That's the exact word you used with me. So,
I
is
did.
there anyone that wants to jump on? Anyone there? Any questions for
Yeah,
T?
if you guys want to pop on, I'll pop off. And I'll just go ahead and start listing and labeling people.
Is there anything
Uh,
there? No? You sure? No one wants to come
mhm.
on? No one with no hair tips? Anything regarding hair, pole work, app building, entrepreneurialism, skin routine,
It's so
anything?
funny. I haven't thought of myself as an entrepreneur until very recently.
Is it?
So,
But you put that on the flyer when we did the
I
conversation. He's like,
did.
I'm an entrepreneur.
I know, but I think that's such a broad statement because everybody can say that they're an entrepreneur, but entrepreneurs at the
Yeah,
end of the day, your job is to make money. That is why
yeah,
you
yeah,
become an
yeah, yeah,
entrepreneur. So if you haven't made any money, you are
yeah,
practicing hobbyist, honey.
yeah, yeah,
Practicing hobbyist.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
so I can
yeah,
already say I've
yeah.
had some pre-sales with the app, so I have made money already, and the thing isn't even launched yet. So
Mhm.
until you're able to say that you're making money, then you are, like I said, you have a hobby. You don't have a career. You don't have a like,
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like that is as harsh as it sounds. I had to come to that realization too. Like people in the entrepreneurial world are like, if you're not making any money, then you're not an entrepreneur. You're like a um, somebody that is aspiring to be an entrepreneur. But until you
yeah,
get that first cash money in your bank account, mm-mm.
yeah,
So that's
yeah.
one thing that you
It's
need to understand.
it's funny you say that because I feel like people often, like I said, I mean, when I first started doing, because I mean, like yourself, I have a number of interests, right? There's a
Yeah,
number of things that I'm involved in. I do a lot. People know me that I do a lot of stuff around creating spaces for men to
yeah,
talk, whether it's around mental health, masculinity. I lecture. I do a lot of things, right? Podcasts, everything.
right.
So with me, obviously money is coming through different avenues and different angles at different points. And people have often coined this phrase, you're an entrepreneur, you're an entrepreneur. And like you, I've often thought, like, I don't know if that really sits with me, but then
Yeah,
maybe
that's why I
that's
never
about,
referred to myself that way. Yeah,
yeah,
because
yeah.
I don't see myself like I'm not out here. I haven't sold multiple companies for hundreds
Yeah,
of thousands of
yeah.
millions of dollars.
Yeah, totally, of course. And it's good, honesty is the
A
best
little,
policy.
yeah, little like tough love never hurt nobody. And if it
No,
did,
definitely.
then that's because you need to toughen up. Okay, ain't nobody got all day to be babying your ass. Get
And
it
with that
together.
hair, you get me. That just worked for me, That was very, yeah. I got the conviction that that's it. Smile. That's what I'm used to. That's what I'm used to. You get me. So tell me something, right?
Hmm.
In summarizing, right? If there was a final message that you wanted to put across to our guests, if there was a parting word or something that you would leave and sow a seed in the consciousness or in the virtual soil of Instagram, what would that be?
To speak your truth and to live your truth. Because at the end of the day, that's all you really have. You can,
Mm.
you know, imitate somebody, you can follow in their footsteps, but at the end of the day, you need to be proud to walk in your shoes because you never know who you're inspiring. You never know who you're uplifting by the way that you live your life. And so, that was something that I
Yeah.
had created a long time ago was a company called Lit Inc., which is basically living your truth. So that is what I aspire to do every day is to live my truth, speak my truth, and in turn give people the safe space to feel like they are able to do the same.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. And just for those of us that may have joined on a bit later that missed it earlier, how can people holler at you? I mean, well, they
Yeah,
should
yeah,
be seeing
yeah.
you anyway, but
So let me put my Instagram
you go
in
for it.
the comments. So that way, if you'd like to follow me, you want to reach out to me, you're interested in
Mhm.
collaborating me, having me, do a project with you, having me on your show, whatever the case is, yeah,
Yeah.
reach out to me. I'm very open. So I'm definitely not a, I don't know why people like look at me and think that I'll be like a snob or stuck up or whatever the case is. Like, as you can see, I'm like super chill. Ain't nobody,
Yeah.
life is too short to
Sometimes.
be, you're right, sometimes. When I'm working, I need things to work when I need them to work.
I know.
But when I'm chilling like this, I'm chilling, I'm relaxing. But yes, I am an exceptional person, and I don't perpetuate mediocrity, and I don't allow
Yeah.
mediocrity to exist around me. So if you
Yeah,
are
yeah, yeah.
mediocre, then I probably make you uncomfortable, and that's good because I don't want you around me anyway. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Real
just
talk. Real
saying.
talk.
But if you're
What you
not,
see is what you
holla
get.
at me.
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely. Holler at her, man. Follow
Oh,
her.
and my
Connect.
podcast is on Sundays. Right
Yeah,
now,
yeah. Tell
I'm
me about the
in.
podcast.
I totally forgot. So my podcast is called Tea with
See, you do
Tea.
too
It is.
much.
I know. It is an interactive Instagram live show, pretty much just like this, where we talk about topics within the realm of sex, love, and self. And right now
Yeah.
I'm on the West Coast, so I go live at 11 a.m. Pacific time, which is like 1 p.m. Central. It's 2 p.m. Eastern time. And then, of course, for you,
Yeah.
KJ, you do the math because I'm not good at it.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
I'll work it out. But I
yeah,
think I'm coming up to my time on Insta
yeah.
now. They're
Thank you for
locking me
having
up.
me on, love.
Thank you. I love you. Virtual hugs.
Love
Wishing you the best with
you.
the operation. People, show some love. I'm going to try and
Get your life together.
love
I'm
you,
out.
girl.